Hi, welcome to Doodle UK, and today I'm going to show you how to make an origami leaf. You can add these origami leaves to all sorts of creations you might make. Recently I've been making roses and lilies. Tutorials coming very soon for those. And they look really nice having one or two offset against those flowers. I decided to choose a mid to dark green shade on single-sided origami paper because I didn't think it's particularly important to have the colour on both sides just because of the style of the folding. However, you might choose to style your origami leaf in a different way, so you might want to have colour on both sides. Firstly, you'll need to fold your origami paper diagonally from corner to corner. Make a nice crisp fold and then open it back up again. At this point you want to go for the opposite diagonal fold, but instead of creasing all the way across, just pinch in the middle so you make a little mark, and this is going to help you locate your centre point. Open it back up again and now you'll have your centre point marked. You need to turn your paper over so it's white side facing up, so your colour is on the reverse, and pull in one of those corners to the centre point, fold and crease. Then you'll need to do that for the opposite side, fold and crease. Now's a slightly fiddlier part where we're trying to form the shape of our leaf, a natural curved leaf shape. So we want to pull in some of the edges to start forming that shape, but try and make sure that it's symmetrical, so whatever you do on one side of the leaf, on one half of the leaf, you need to replicate on the other side of the leaf. So I folded this quite a little bit in to try and get that curve coming towards the point, and then I've done exactly the same on the other side. Going towards the other point, I want this to be more of a curve, more rounded, so I'm going to be more gentle with the folds that I do to make it a little bit more subtle. Once you've done your main folds, you want to just slightly start rolling back some of the paper to really make it into a natural curve. So to just check that this looks okay, you might want to turn over so you can see the green side and just tweak and roll with the tips of your fingers to try and get a nice smooth curve. I want a more dramatic curve, almost like a semicircle at the bottom of my leaf. It's turning it basically into a teardrop shape. So I'm going to pull the sides in near the bottom to try and lose that point that I have already. So remember, keep it symmetrical, fold in the same amount on both sides, and then the little flap that you have that's pushed up, you want to flatten it down with your finger. It can be a bit tricky, so you might need to pop your finger inside, give it a wiggle, press it down again, so then that isn't visible from the other side. So that's the basic shape of your leaf. If you're happy to have just a plain leaf like that, then that's easy enough. It doesn't take very long. But then you might want to put the veins across your leaf as well. So this involves putting some very, very delicate creases in. It's very handy to have some nail in which to do this, because it just gives a sharper point when you're kind of pushing the paper underneath the other parts of the paper. So the next part is all about symmetry now. So we have our vertical line of symmetry, and whatever we do on one side, we need to repeat the process exactly on the other side. So firstly, having our coloured side up, we'd want to make a fold from the centre line to the edge, a diagonal fold. So just press the pads of your thumbs together to make a nice line. It doesn't have to be sharply folded, and then you want to repeat the same on the other side, so you end up with a V-shaped fold. So you need to repeat that process all the way down to the bottom of your leaf. The spaces in between each fold, try and keep them roughly equal. How tight or how loose you do those gaps is entirely up to you. So now starting with the point side up, and starting with that crease, the V-shaped crease, you want to now utilise your nails and slightly push under the paper, under the part of the fold, so there's a little bit of an overlap, maybe no more than a millimetre. Doesn't have to be dramatic, and just do this gently and work your way across that V, very gently, kind of nudge that paper underneath itself. Once you have a small overlap, as I said before, maybe a millimetre or so, you can then start to press down to really define that shape. It might not always fold correctly down the centre line at the moment, but once you start doing the ridge down the centre line, you'll see it coming together, so don't worry about that too much at this stage. And you want to repeat that all the way down across all your creases, your V-shaped creases, so that they're all slightly overlapped. So you're wanting to push the top part down behind by about a millimetre. Once all your overlaps have been completed over your leaf veins, you're going to look at doing the centre line now. So we're going to make that more defined, raise it up so you've got that centre piece going down the vertical line. So down the vertical line of your leaf, you want to use your nails to slowly push that centre crease together, so you've got it slightly raised, maybe a couple of mil. And at this point, the folded V shapes will probably start coming together a little bit more, a little bit clearer if they didn't seem to tuck under when you were doing them earlier. they should push together now and fit in quite nicely. So this will make a really nice dramatic shape to your leaf. You can now use your thumb and forefinger nails to pinch together along that vertical line, the central line, to really define that ridge, make it nice and sharp and clear. And that's your completed leaf. These look much more effective if you have 3 or 4 of them, maybe more. You can add them to your flower, perhaps even make a bouquet of flowers out of paper. Who knows? This is Doodle UK. I hope you've enjoyed our tutorial today, and there'll be lots more coming very soon.